So since I started watching hockey as a kid, there's been one thing that's consistently happened every year, and that's Sidney Crosby and the Pittsburgh Penguins showing up and showing out in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Now this year the Penguins did not actually make the playoffs, and it made everything seem a little bit grimmer for some reason. Now, in case you've been living under a rock for the past decade and a half, Crosby is considered one of the greatest NHL players to ever live, and this guy's a beauty on and off the ice. And this past season, the Penguins were put up with a decision to re-sign a couple of the core players that Crosby's been playing with for most of his career. Now, for today's video, I wanted to talk about something that I probably never thought I would discuss in my entire life, and that's whether or not the Penguins should keep Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, and Chris Letang. Now hear me out. These three guys have been the core of the Penguins for the past 3 championships that they've had, but this roster is getting a little bit on the older side, and with the NHL becoming faster and much more of a quick environment, it seems like the game could pass these guys up in the next couple years. And what does that mean for the Pittsburgh Penguins' future? Well, if you're the GM of the Penguins, you have to start considering something. Is Sidney Crosby, Chris Letang, and Evgeny Malkin's career gonna sustain long enough for them to win another championship, or would it be more beneficial to the organization if you traded these guys off for some younger assets? Now, Sidney Crosby holds a lot of value, and so do those 2 other guys. For teams who have a roster that's built for the now, like the Toronto Maple Leafs, maybe the Boston Bruins, or even the Tampa Bay Lightning, these guys would be quintessential pieces and help them go to a Stanley Cup. Now, think about whether or not if Crosby was traded to the Toronto Maple Leafs. I guarantee you, with this guy at the helm, the Maple Leafs would be in the Stanley Cup Finals this year. Same goes with the Edmonton Oilers. If the Oilers acquired a guy like Chris Letang to be the star of their defense, this team would be a million times better than what they did this year. And the same goes for Malkin. Put Malkin on a team like the Lightning or maybe even the Bruins, and the Bruins are going to have 40 plus goals this next season and be an amazing roster for the next season. Now, these are all just speculations, but I actually think that this should be something that the Penguins organization and faculty consider when they're moving into the next couple seasons. You have a generational talent like Crosby, and you're so grateful for everything he did, but do you think that Crosby wants to win another cup, or maybe does he just want to stay a Penguin for life after all that he's achieved? I don't think that this is such a crazy conversation to have. I think the Penguins are in a good spot, but do I think they're a great roster? No. And the thing is, the Penguins are on the back end of their dynasty. And if you think the Penguins can win another cup, don't you think that might have happened this past season and not 2 seasons from now? So this is just an open conversation that I want to hear from Pittsburgh fans and hockey fans in general. Should the Pittsburgh Penguins consider trading Sidney Crosby and the other guys in their core, like Evgeny Malkin, Chris Letang, Tristan Jarry, or maybe even Jake Gensel? Or is it kind of just one of those things where the Penguins are set where they are right now and they should really exploit this roster that they have and try to win one more championship? Just some fruit for thought. Make sure you like this video, comment what you think about this conversation and this topic in general, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. I'll see you guys in the next one.